allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, our first order of business is a public hearing on the peddler's permit law.
Town of Chatham, Columbia County, New York, notice of public hearing on local law regulating peddlers and solicitors within the town. Please take notice that the town board of the town of Chatham will hold a public hearing on November 19th, 2015 at 7 p.m. at 488 State Route 295 in Chatham, at which time all interested parties will be given the opportunity to be heard. Written comment will be accepted. Any other business to come before the board will also be heard at that time.
So, the floor is open for the public hearing on the peddler's permit law. Which is what number? Yes,
Is
sir.
it possible to have a summary as to what the law is or what is being discussed?
Sure. Actually, at the request and recommendation of our code enforcement officer, we started looking at this about 3 or 4 months ago, and we looked at a wide range of laws, some that are very complex and very strong, to others that are very simple and more registry type. And we took a little bit of the middle ground, where anybody who's going to be going door to door to sell items needs to come here to town hall and get a permit, and register and provide certain types of information about themselves, so that if anybody does call town hall, we can say, yes, this is somebody who legitimately has a license and has the ability and a permit to go forward and make these attempted sales door to door. We did build in some exceptions too, so that charitable organizations, political campaigning and things of that nature are exempt, and they're all listed in there.
Anything else? Okay, so we'll close the public hearing on the peddler's permit law and open the public hearing on the New York State tax cap override.
Notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held before the town board of the town of Chatham, the Chatham Town Hall on the 19th day of November 2015 at 7 p.m. regarding the adoption of a local law to override the tax levy limit established in General Municipal Law, Section 3-C. This law is being proposed to comply with Subdivision 5 of the General Municipal Law 3-C, which expressly authorizes the town board to override the tax levy limit by the adoption of a local law approved by a vote of at least 60% of the town board. At such time and place, all persons interested in the subject matter thereof will be heard concerning the same. Copies of the proposed local law shall be available at the time of the hearing and shall be available at times prior to and after the hearing at the town clerk's office during normal business hours for the purpose of inspection or procurement by interested persons. The proposed local law to override the tax levy limit established in General Municipal Law, Section 3-C, establishes the Chatham Town Board's intent to override the limit on the amount of real property taxes that may be levied by the town of Chatham.
Okay, floor is open for the public hearing on the tax cap override.
Is there a summary again just of what the current limit is and what's proposed?
Well, the current limit is 0.73, and we're right now looking at 0.24 or 2.4%.
I'm sorry, I don't quite understand that.
Okay, the tax rate levy, the percentage that the state allows is 0.73%, and we're looking right now at 2.4%.
The proposed would be 2.4%.
Correct. Anyone else? Okay. We'll close the public hearing on the tax cap override. Correspondence. We have actually 2 pieces of correspondence here. We had a letter from our code enforcement, zoning enforcement officer, Walt Simmonsmeyer, who has submitted his resignation as of December 31st. And We also have a petition submitted by Adele Clem Levine for the Chatham Bridge. And she said attaches a copy of the petition to rectify the hazardous situation that was created by the renovation of the Albany Turnpike Bridge. And she notes that it was hand-delivered to Senator Marchione on October 30th. And it is, as we noted last meeting, that Senator Marchione's office is actively working on getting DOT to help us to solve this problem. That's where that stands as of now.
Can I ask a question?
Well, in a second, we're in public comment. In fact, we are in public comment, so go ahead. Sure.
It wouldn't be a meeting without my asking a question, right? I was just wondering where we stand now with DOT, since they expressed an interest, it was discussed at the last meeting, getting involved in really doing a study on, really a safety study on the bridge. We passed a resolution here, and there was some talk about that if they got involved, there would be community committee and so forth. So I was just wondering what has transpired in the month.
Right now, Senator Marchione's office is kind of leading the charge, and we have not heard anything back yet.
That's awful. Thanks.
We've had no response from state DOT either, except for their initial comment that they would help.
Right. And one of the things we'll discuss in a moment when we get to highway is hiring Garland and Judas to actually do the answering of the comments that for DOT's request for information. So public comment is still open. Right? Reports, Joe.
Fairly quiet month thanks to the weather, but on our permits issued, I've issued a highway construction permit for Bashford Road. And under our highway maintenance, the CHIPS reimbursement submitted for December's payment, grading and ditching on Highland Road, Reed Road, and Waldorf Road. We've completed our mowing for the year on Albany Turnpike, Silvernail Road, and Brow Road. And under our winter preparation, we've completed hauling in all the sand and salt for the winter. Winter preparation on vehicles is still ongoing, and we're still continuing to put up snow fence. We inspected and serviced all our chainsaws, and we've done road checks on signs, marker posts, and etc. We've also cleaned out a lot of leaf dams on culverts and catch basins. And under our shared services, we worked with the town of Austerlitz for 3 days at the end of October, doing some mowing for them. And that's it. Any questions?
How has that been for our street signs? That seem to slow down at all?
Yeah, it's slowed down quite a bit. I mean, we're still missing a few every now and then.
Not like it was?
No, not like it was. Recent one that got stolen was Hunt Road, off of Highland Road. But for the most part, it's been fairly quiet.
No, we talked about this, Joe, and Bartlett and Judas was here last month, and we talked about having them prepare the response to DOT's questions. And their fee for preparing this is $2,500. I think we should. Joe recommends we should go ahead with it, and I definitely think we should ask them to do this. So I would make the motion that we hire Bartlett and Judas at a fee of not to exceed $2,500 to prepare a response to DOT's questions for the Albany Turnpike Bridge.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. I'll get this page signed. You're all set?
Yes.
Okay. All right, recreation, we have a report. Code enforcement and zoning, we have a report. Dog control, we have a report. Environmental management, I guess we do not. Climate smart, Bob?
Nothing to,
That brings us to Justice Court. We had a request from the judges for an executive session. It probably would be apropos to do that now prior to what will come to the budget discussion. Unless the feeling is we want to wait till that. I'm fine with either time, so now's as good as any to me. Well, I move we enter executive session for purpose of Second, okay. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Okay, sorry, everybody. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. Okay, the assessors have new hours, and if I find it, okay. Assessors' new hours, the Monday office hours have been changed to 3 to 6, and Thursday office hours remain 9 to 4. The assessor is also available by zoning implementation, Henry?
Okay, we met on the 21st and the 4th, and night of the 4th, we were actually, at that point, completed most of all the work at the comp plan. We sent it, and Tal had copies for us all to take home and start reading and going through it, making these changes, I say changes, looking at our notes to make sure all the things that got in there, that we were proposing changes, looking it all over. Still, there's a lot to read, so on the 18th, we decided not to meet. We're still in the process of reading it. Most of the members have got their comments back to Tal. We have a couple that are still looking it over, making reviews. Their reviews are supposed to be back to Tal by the 9th. And then the committee's going to re-meet. We're going to meet again on the 16th. At that point, we're hoping to have it complete and ready to turn over to the town and to put it on the website. And then at that point, once they'll turn it into the county planning board, and then everybody, the public, the board, the county planning board, everybody start to review it, bring back their concerns, and proceed from there. That's where we stand as of now.
Thank you. County business, unfortunately, I had to miss last night's meeting thanks to something I shouldn't have eaten, I guess. Town comptroller, we do not at this moment have a report. He's also been ill for the last week, and today his girlfriend got in a car accident, so we don't have his services here. Yeah. Town clerk?
I'm preparing for the 2016 tax season. Things are underway. And Saturday is the opening of rifle season for all the last minute hunters. I'll be here tomorrow until 4.
Okay, new business. We have a planning board appointment to fill the unexpired term of Anthony Coombs. We have one application, that was Cindy Myers, and we've already interviewed her twice. Didn't seem to think there was much reason to interview her again. And in fact, I would like to move that we appoint Cindy to fill out that term.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Has there been any comment from the planning board on the possible appointment?
The planning board chairman was in favor of that appointment.
I think it's a great idea.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, old business. We have noise enforcement and a developers agreement that we've discussed before. Cal, you want to run over this again?
Sure. This is sort of the final piece of the puzzle to the PS21 project. The new black box facility that they're building now. As part of the overall enforcement process, not only did the ZBA and planning board think that it's appropriate for them to grant approvals for the site plan and for the special use permit, but also to include a developer's agreement that would make a stronger bond for enforcement between the town and the property owner. Because sometimes when it's just a resolution of approval from one of the boards, it's difficult to get a court to find a foothold or a reason to enforce something. So with this developer's agreement, we actually have a contract between the landowner, the developer, and the town. And what's before you is something we've been looking at now for about 3 months. And in addition to the standard language that we have for conditions of approval and things get built the way they're supposed to, is also a new noise protocol, enforcement protocol that discusses a process and procedure by which if anybody thinks that there are violations that are ongoing, they can be reported and be handled properly and quickly, and more importantly, immediately, so that if there is a program that's ongoing, that's too loud, that does potentially violate the restraints and the conditions, it can be lowered even mid-program, and it would hopefully bring some satisfaction certainly to those that feel aggrieved of the process. I did get one comment from Bob, and I implemented that. I put that into the language, and it was just essentially making it clear about the manner in which testing would be done, and that no changes would be made to the noise limiter until the testing could be done. So that was the intent, and Bob's suggestion made it more clear. And I've run that past council for PS 21, and she's fully in agreement with that. So assuming that everybody else is all right with that, we can have your discussion.
Nothing more to say. It's good by me.
I just got something here quick, I don't know, I just sent it to you, I'm just looking at some emails, and it doesn't look like it was ever forwarded to you. Tricia Lasky
Okay.
made some comments. I think it has to do with some of this, but maybe we need to look at that before. Did everybody else get a chance to, you're all copied on an email that she sent?
That must have just come in, because
No, it actually was in October 10th. I was going back through my emails to look it over on the PS 21 situation, and we're all on it, we're all listed. And I was just curious if we ever answered this lady's concerns, or if you knew anything about it. I can resend it to you each now, so I think we should look at
I
it.
remember looking at it, but I
Yeah.
can't remember, it's been a while.
So I'll resend it to you.
So I think most of these I can hopefully address now. Who wrote the agreement? Initially I did, along with the ZBA, 10 years or 12 years ago when the first approval was done. And we've been building on it since then. Every time that there's been a change or a modification or a new approval, we've incorporated those changes. And the same thing with this particular noise protocol. This was a little bit more collaborative, where it was the applicant's attorney, the applicant's sound engineer, our engineer, and I, and the ZBA wrote that final piece there. Who paid for the drafting of the agreement? That was PS 21. That was done out of the escrow account and didn't cost the town a penny. I don't understand what is the agreement meant to do if the project is already underway. Well, as I said, the agreement is to make sure that we have a further mechanism to enforce not only the general conditions, but also the specific sound conditions that.
And that is one of the things that addressed it with the new.
Yes.
So that's why I think I wanted to touch on this,
The noise
to
protocol.
show that we did
Yep.
give thought to that, and the new plan
Mhm.
should solve some of this.
well, maybe Tal, you could respond to this.
Actually, that's what I'm doing right
I just-
Tell me in writing.
now. Sure. And finally, who in town government gave the approval to begin the building process before the developers agreement was signed? That was a decision that the ZBA made at the time of the approval. They granted the approval for the special use permit and made one of the conditions that before any programs could be held at the site, the developer's agreement had to be finalized and executed by all parties. So, yes, they broke ground and they're proceeding, but knowing full well that they could not hold a single program in that building until the developer's agreement was completed. Yeah, I'll.
Thanks, I didn't mean to put you in a spot
No,
the
that's
last
fine.
minute, I'm just going through this, and I figured if we overlooked it,
Yeah, I have not seen it.
yeah, I just happened to notice when I was going through that you were not copied on it, so that's why
No problem.
I just resent it to both of you, and then
Thank
we'll show up or not. I don't know if it makes a difference at this point.
Yeah.
Well, it does, and they're good questions, and, you know, we have good answers for them.
Yes. Okay. So was there a motion?
Was there a motion back, because I think I was not here for the board meeting where this was, when this first came up, was a motion made then?
Yeah, and I think we pulled, I think Isaac and then we pulled it.
Either
Okay.
tabled or, yeah.
Well, I'm just, yeah,
Yeah,
we just do it again.
so I'm making the motion.
Okay, second, and one little discussion,
Further discussion.
exhaustive document. I mean, truly, I mean, when I sat down, it's 45 pages long. I sit there reading it today, and the amount of detail is amazing. It's a good piece of work, and I have to say, that type of, I mean, the applicant obviously is trying to do their best. I also have to say, the ZBA trying to do their best to make this work. And, yep, and the, you know, just the level, when I think back to the initial concept and the discussion of sound and how that went, and now the testing protocol is so good that there is a very scientific way of identifying what ambient sound is, and then there's going to be a way to identify where you're going to pick the noisiest spot at 10 feet outside, and that is going to be the point of measurement. It really is excellent. We can't cover all conditions. That's going to be the situation. I mean, I live in a valley. Some nights I never hear it. The wind changes, I hear it. There's, you know, so there's going to be times when that's going to have to be addressed. But overall, I say, I'm really impressed with this document.
Anyone else? Okay, all in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Alrighty. Okay, we have the peddler's permit law, which we earlier held a public hearing on. I would make the motion that we adopt local law number 3 of 2015, otherwise known as regulating peddlers and solicitors within the town. Second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Just one
Sorry,
thing,
sorry.
give me 2 seconds. Just that, should we, and I do believe we're going to pass this, that we do like many towns do, and post signs at the main entrance points into the town. Indicate, so if there is a peddler, that they see this, they can't say, oh, I didn't know. I'd like to say something, you know, peddler, solicitor, law in effect, permit required, or something like that. That's all.
Do you get those made at the county level? Those type of signs?
I've seen things like that around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, if it was something they may have a template for or something.
I don't know if they do or not.
well, this, you know, it's something for us to look into. But we should.
Give somebody a fighting chance.
Yeah.
How many points,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where do you start, where do you stop?
Well, that's what we'd have to figure out.
Yeah. Set
The
on a
main
map.
ones anyways, the main drags.
Set on a map and try to,
Yeah.
They're professional peddlers,
What's the most
they know all
important?
about these laws.
Anyone else? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay. Last month, we were talking about the Riders Mills rail bed. Apparently, we're looking at a site visit. I'm not sure what we were intending to do with this, but it's back on the agenda. And perhaps somebody could explain to me what it is we're doing. I'm not sure. What would we like to do with this report?
Well, I was asked to go out to the site visit as a member of the board, because the landowner really didn't feel he had any satisfaction. What was created was a link on his property. You've been out there, Joe, right?
Yes.
A collapse of a culvert, and it seems from what I understand that we own the railroad bed. And I asked him to be here tonight so that he could petition the board, discuss it, and see being here tonight. So we may be hearing from his attorney
What is this proposal?
Well, I guess there are plenty of grants. There were a number of different organizations out there. The DEC, Trout Unlimited, his attorney, Army Corps of Engineers, everybody agreed that it's impacting the Green Brook, and that there are grants out there that can be obtained. And since the town is the responsible party, that we have to take the initiative and do something about it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but back when we looked at this last year, we were under no obligation to restore that rail bed to, am I correct?
Yeah, we looked into it and didn't find a rationale to proceed anything further at that point.
Right, and that was, Joe had a number of about $125,000 to restore that, but however, that we were under no obligation to restore the rail bed.
I don't think he was asking to restore it. What they're asking is to open it up so that the water can flow and Hurley's land dry out.
Give me a shovel.
It's that the railroad bed has dammed up the water.
That's what we looked at. That's what I spoke to DEC about, and that was roughly the price tag, because you have to slope it,
Yeah.
and you also have to show a way of how you're going to protect the erosion. So it wasn't just the fact that you could go down there and, like Dean suggested, just dig a trench and let it go. The DEC is not going to allow that. I think also, you're going to set a precedence here. If you go and fix one problem, you better look at that whole rail bed. And this town cannot afford it. That rail bed is in bad shape. There's many boulders going through it.
Well, I'm delivering a report
Just let you know.
because I think that the landowner is going to take some action on it.
I don't know what action you can take, but that's up to him, I guess.
Maybe it'd be something for you to look into. You have all these things here about, for these grants and all these things.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Henry, but my feelings are that someone should be, and it should be the town's lead, is going after the power company. Power company set precedents whenever there was a storm coming through this town and there was different problems like that. They went through and fixed it. And since they have a new owner, the new owner says, we're not gonna touch it.
They just have the easement. We own the.
They did it before though. They went in there, and I can personally account for many times when they hired different contractors to go in there and fix that road bed. Not just that particular one, but other ones throughout the town.
Well, what they did was put up a whole new pole. They
Yeah,
just
they-
bypassed.
Yeah, they moved it. Yep. And they broke their own rules by 200-foot span is now probably 300 foot. But just something that, I don't know where it's ever gonna end out. I really don't.
I think the last time we talked about this, I said when we put the land up for sale, it's not bad with us except for this rail trail in the future. If it ever extends, it's a big what if. The rails just doesn't seem to be
Right.
progressing.
No.
And yet it's just gonna keep costing the town money. No matter how you look at it, it's gonna cost us money.
Yeah.
To me, in the long run, it's cheaper for us to get rid of it,
Give it to somebody.
or give it to
Give it to
somebody,
the power
right?
company.
Yeah, and then not have it keep costing the town and the taxpayers more money all the time. I mean, there's no benefit to us.
How did we wind up with the whole railroad?
It was abandoned.
It goes way back.
Yeah.
Way back,
It was probably just abandoned.
abandoned, and we wound up with it.
I mean, we've got, Maria's got a
gravel line back there,
bunch of ideas here in front of her, if she wants to take the time to look into all those things, and I think we should still look into possibly selling it and getting rid of it. I don't,
We'll address it.
oh, I'm glad, thank you.
All right. All right, so I guess we'll do this. Okay, so we're on to the 2016 budget, which, here we are again. I'll notice one minor change we have to make to North Chatham Fire District, the numbers, a few $100 more than.
We don't want to end up paying their tax increase.
No. I think I'm kind of gonna take the tack that Henry was saying. I think we didn't do anything other than make a big mistake with the salary we've been discussing. And it's really on us. We should have fashioned the resolution better and made it better understood. That doesn't mean I like it. I think it skews our pay scale all out of whack. I think it sends a very strange precedent for other people, which is going to take a little while to unravel. I also think back to how we took, money from the recreation director last year, and we seemed to be bothered by that, however, so that sort of reduces my sympathy level somewhat for what's going on here, but in this case, we did bring this on ourselves, and I think you just have to be more mindful not to allow that to happen in the future. I think it almost goes to the point where you're showing favoritism, and I don't think that's good at all, so.
It's disgusting is what it is.
Well,
It's not, I don't even know, I don't feel comfortable leaving that raise in the way it is. Afterward, you've been nickel and diming everybody else over the 1% raise. I just don't feel comfortable with it at all.
It's demoralizing and humiliating.
sure, it's hard, Brett, so
I'm sorry.
And, I feel, I don't know if I could vote for the budget with that still in there at that level.
now, the one thing that I proposed earlier was that we cut the raise, that raise that was actually given months ago in half, and then go forward from there. I would be much happier to do that at this point.
I think it should
Still
be,
doesn't solve anything, but
yeah, it's either going to be a whole lot less or don't even put it in there. I just don't feel comfortable with it at all.
no, I gotta say, I don't either. Do we have any other issues in this budget that we want to discuss before we keep banging on this one? I don't personally.
If you're getting ready to vote on the budget,
Not quite yet.
you should do the 2%
Yeah.
override
Okay.
first.
Yeah, we got to do that right.
Good idea.
Well, when something magical happens shortly, we're gonna do that.
There's no other discussion on it?
Nothing to really discuss since last meeting.
No, I think not. So I'll continue to debate with myself while we do the tax cap override. I would like, I guess I'd like to move that we adopt local law number 4, to override the tax cap. Second, anyone?
I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Seven, aye. You're also opposed?
No.
Okay. One opposed, one opposed. Okay, so we got that done. All right, well, somebody want to move the budget? Because I think I've come up with my answer. I'll move it. Is there a second?
You have no second?
I'll second it.
We don't have a second, we simply adopt the tentative, so it doesn't make any
I'll
difference.
second it for
Yeah.
mere discussion.
Further discussion? The one thing I would like to say is I think that in the future that we should do what was said in the past, that the salary schedule and scales, pay around here, which needs to be seriously looked at for everyone, from all angles.
I don't mean to interrupt, Jesse, but I don't think the 35% is in there.
Well, regardless, at this point,
It's gonna change.
all right, all in favor?
Before we can't adopt this because we have none, oh, we did, I'm sorry, yes, okay, take it back.
All in favor?
Aye.
actually, we just adopted tentatively. Where we are.
So we have Henry in favor and everyone else
I'm
opposed.
sorry, yeah. Yep. All right.
The reason I'm in favor of the budget as is, because there was no alternative budget presented. This is the budget we have to work with. No other board member, nobody else has come up with anything else to give us something else to look at. And this is what we've got in front of us. No one's come up with any other type of solutions or any answers. They just, no. That's not an answer.
Well, I agree. Anybody have anything else under old or new business?
Is this public comment?
No, it's not. Resolution to, okay, I'm gonna try to get through this list here, see if you can help me out. Resolution to accept the minutes, first of all, of the October 15th regular town board meeting.
No, these were accepted.
Okay.
1825, September 3rd.
Okay.
We've got
So we have
one that,
August 20th, September 24th, October 5th, October 8th, October 15th, October 19th,
probably not those.
okay, so we stopped at 15th, okay. August 20th, September 24th, October 5th, 8th, and 15th. I move that we adopt those. Minutes. Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. And I make a motion that we pay the following at the earlier date specified: December's monthly and annual payroll on December 18th, health insurance, and buybacks and longevity bonuses on December 4th. Why wouldn't we make those on December 4th?
We've always done it the first week for the longevity and the.
No, I mean for the monthly.
Because I was gonna do it the same time as the bi-weekly payroll. Unless you want me doing.
Yeah, let's do that on the 4th.
Okay.
That's okay. Let's make those on the 4th, then to pay our New York State retirement bill early, which saved us approximately $900. So I move that.
Second.
Second, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, carried. Okay. That brings us to public comment section number 2, everyone, who will care to address the board. Sir, I'm sorry, nobody seems to know your name for the town clerks.
Yeah, Chris Spencer, I'm a recent resident of Chatham. We moved here in the summer, and I came tonight never been to a meeting before, so I just wanted to get a sense of what it's about. But I'm actually bringing up an issue which is just tangible to my children who attend Chatham Elementary School. We live on Pond Hill Road, 185 Pond Hill, so we're on the side of the road away from the pond. As you go down the hill around the pond, out of Kinderhook Street. And the issue that my kids are facing is that we happen to live close enough to the school where we aren't eligible to be picked up by the bus, but far enough away that in walking on Pond Hill, there's no sidewalk or really any place safe for the kids to walk. So they've been navigating it somewhat to now, although they're not really comfortable doing it. But the concern
I wouldn't be comfortable walking that road.
So the concern I'm having is, we haven't been here in the winter yet, and I obviously understand it does get,
Unpleasant.
it gets unpleasant, yeah. So, I'm just trying to forecast, what they're going to do when the ice and the snow comes and how that's going to work. And, we've been, as best we can, we've been escorting them. But, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that every day. So it's just something I'm raising. I don't obviously have a solution.
Have you spoke to the school board at all?
I haven't spoken to the school board directly. I have spoken to the principal, and her, I think she has all the good intentions, but she's saying, my hands are tied. There's a rule that,
That's why we go to the school board. Her hands may be tied, but the school board's hands won't be. They
So-
can make an exemption and make a change. Hopefully, maybe they can help you more than I think we can.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would take it from the school board.
without a doubt. I've had issues at other schools where I've had issues, and we went to principals or people in the school, we haven't had any luck. Over their heads basically to the school board, and we got the results that we were looking for. This is the fire service, and I'm hoping as a homeowner, your safety concerns, and going to one of their meetings and publicly making it how unsafe that is for your children.
Yeah.
Schools don't like to have something where you're saying things are unsafe for their kids. So.
Well, from, you know, my understanding from what the principal said was there's a rule in place that I think it's within a mile, you know, you don't pick people up. And I don't know if the school board has I don't know if it's their rule or, I guess it's not a town rule.
No.
So,
No,
It's a school rule.
it's a school board rule.
And the school board has got to oversee their rules.
Okay,
When I go to the elementary school,
yeah.
and you're a mile away. Wow.
We're
Not as a crow flies.
we're like-
As
as
it goes.
a crow flies, he's probably like 700 feet.
Yeah.
we're not, you know, we're not far. And one of the thoughts I had was, well, we'll walk to a bus stop a little farther away to get picked up. And they said, no, you can't do that.
They can't do that?
No.
You've got instances out there where people are going after parents with neglect because they're making their children, they're letting their children walk to areas. You're getting a parent that's concerned and doesn't want his children walking out there, they're not doing nothing.
Right, so, all right, well, certainly I'll pick up with the school board.
Yeah, please.
Good luck with that.
Good luck with it.
Anyone else? Well, yeah.
I would just like to address the 35% increase. I know you already
Okay.
voted on the budget. Again, I think I speak for most of the staff that works within our office here, and we are all disconcerted about the 35% increase, and thank you, Jean, for speaking up about it. Again, there was no talk about slashing my salary, and yeah, I'm bitter about it, but also too, everybody else was facing a 1% increase, but me, again, singled out, and I want to know why. I want a good reason why that 35% increase can go through for somebody who hasn't been here as long as a lot of us. And what's the justification for a part-time person getting that 35% increase when Sandy's been here much longer and is the clerk, the court clerk? I think it stinks, and I think it's totally irrational and absolutely ridiculous.
We're not gonna get an argument here, so
I agree with them.
Well, you know, I think,
We also have to be careful about these personnel issues.
oh, I know, I'm gonna make a general statement, don't worry. I think that it's important to look at each situation on a case-by-case basis. And I've worked in the labor world, and that's what you have to do. And it's one of the problems that you have to look at the responsibilities that go with the job, how the job is related to the management of the employer, the whole bit. You have to look at it all, and then you have to look, and when you see where there is discrepancies, then you fix them.
And have you guys done that? I have not seen that. We've not had job evaluations. None of us get evaluated. You just decide.
You've admitted the mistake, so why don't you just change it? I had $1.50 taken away from me in 2004 per hour. Nobody seems to matter, they take the money away to give to other people. And as all of us, the town employees, we're tired of seeing that.
And you base, I mean, I don't understand why her job is so much more important than any of ours. I have the safety of children at a camp and making sure that nobody drowns every summer or all summer long. And that has no bearing on your decision in salaries. It makes no sense.
It all has bearing.
And seniority should be part of it.
Don't
Every
disagree.
place that I've worked, but you said in the last meeting, same work, same pay.
That's right.
So then I want the same pay that the other clerk is getting as zoning board clerk.
I don't want to get into an argument, but here's a concept, okay? And I'll use school teachers because I know them best. A school teacher who works 30 years, this could be a highway department employee who works, whatever their schedule is. 30 years, they finally get to $80,000, okay? are they doing anything different than somebody's worked at 5 years, at 10 years, at 15 years? The answer is no. So what is happening there? Well, the problem is at $80,000, if you were to pay everybody at $80,000 right off the bat, there's a problem. You can't afford it. So you do deferred compensation, which is salary schedules, okay? Salary schedules are nothing more than deferred compensation. So what you need to do then is try to find the happy medium where it's not 30 years to get to the salary that you should be earning, and to get it down to a manageable level so that there's maybe a few years of experience, you make less salary, but you get to that value for the job as quickly as possible. I don't, you know, that's how I look at it. And I don't, you know, and every job has a value. We need to go back and look at them all. I don't disagree with that. I think we should. Sherry, you brought one up immediately about the payment between the, you know, a clerk at planning board and a clerk for ZBA, paid different. Why? I agree.
Why?
I don't know.
Why don't you know? You sit on these committees, you guys all are on the board, you
Because
don't know. You guys have
those-
no idea what goes on and what we do. This is what's so frustrating. This is what was so frustrating about this election.
Nobody has asked the town employees any questions or
You never
find out what we
interviewed us,
do.
nothing. Nothing. You do not know what we do.
Like I said, I don't want to get into an argument with you about this.
Well, I am arguing with you about it because it needs to be argued about. This is
The
ridiculous.
morale is so bad now with the town employees. I've been here 16 years and I've never seen it this bad.
I've been here 8 years and I've never seen it this bad.
You said you made a mistake, so why not bring her back, the person back down to the amount they're supposed
I
to
didn't
be
say
at?
that. I didn't say that.
But you didn't vote for it in the budget. You stopped the budget because of it.
No, I
Right.
didn't. No.
Yes,
That
you
wasn't-
did.
No, I had other reasons. At the last meeting, I stated my reasons for
Well, I heard it from 3 or 4 of you that it was a mistake. It never should have been done. So go back and correct it. You have the authority to do it, Bob.
And you're more or less saying there's one valuable person working for the town of
That's
Chatham.
right.
No, I'm not-
35% in any industry, any job is unprecedented.
The highway superintendent only got 1%, so
I don't know who even came up with 35%. That's absolutely ridiculous. For any
plus
town.
extra accruals.
you know, trying to rehash this again for the last time. And trying to.
I'm sorry, I still would caution about personnel.
Yeah.
It's a discussion that needs to be had, but I'm not in public.
If we want to go to executive, it's fine by me. We're going to anyway. I mean, at least you'd had a request, Bob, so that's
Okay.
for the next one. Just so you know how that happened, Gary,
Thank you. I would like to know that. Thank
just
you.
so you know how that happened, and it could have been any number, but am I getting out of bounds by explaining?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's where I was gonna go to, Jeff.
All right, what you, well,
There's no chance we can explain what happened, when can we tell the
we
public?
kind of did.
You did last time.
Let's talk about it first.
Okay, I move we enter executive session for whatever reason we need to have.
So it's the same.
Same as before? Okay.
Second.
Okay, discussion, all in favor? Aye.